What is going on, guys? I am Pride from OMFG Kata and Hazardous Cookies, and welcome to Behind the Scenes on the Lore For Noobs Series 1 online interactive DVD. And basically what we've got here, we're going to take you through the steps that I go through each and every week to bring you every new episode of Lore For Noobs. And now that we're here at the audio stage, the recording stage, basically what I'll do is I'll take the finalized script and I will simply start recording. I will press record and I will read through it a couple of times and I will take the best of each, whichever thing I did, whichever lines I recorded. And we do it all at once so that we don't have too many inconsistencies. Now, so I guess I'll just leave you guys with a clip of me doing some lines from an episode we did a while back, and then it's on to production. Of Azeroth. As such, Neptulon has sided with the Horde and the Alliance to defeat Deathwing. When OMFG News 6 reporter Mojo Maker approached Therazane on the subject, she simply screamed, "You murdered my daughter," and charged him. We certainly hope he's okay. Well, I hope you guys like that, and now we'll go ahead, we'll move on to what happens after pre-production. We'll go into actual production. Alright guys, this is going to be kind of a long clip, and it's going to be a little bit of me making a particular part of one of our episodes. I believe it's Illidan's Storm Rage Part 3. So, let's go ahead, take a look at it, and see how it all worked out. The script has been written, edited, finalized, recorded, the cards have been made, and now it's time to actually bring together the scenes for Lore For Noobs. So check this out, guys. This is me, an entire scene of Lore For Noobs from start to finish right here. So please enjoy. Maiev and her wardens made their way through Suramar as well and eventually confronted Illidan, but it was too late. Illidan used the Eye to bring the tomb down on Maiev and her wardens, killing all of them except for Maiev. Reinforcements from Malfurion and Tyrande quickly arrived, sending Illidan on the run. Alright, so we've just listened to that particular audio part, and now what we're doing is we have to go and get all those cards that we've created and bring them into the composition or scene. And, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sit here and kind of get them all matched up. Make sure that they come on or they appear right around the time that they should. And best way to do that, at least for me, just drag the images all the way back, play it. Maiev and her wardens made their way through Suramar, and then find out where we say their name and when their card should appear. Like so. Maiev and her wardens made their way through Suramar. Maiev and her wardens made their way through Suramar as well and eventually confronted Illidan. And we repeat this many times. Many times. Maiev and her wardens made their way through Suramar as well and eventually confronted Illidan, but it was too late. Illidan used the Eye to bring the tomb down on Maiev and her wardens, killing all of them except for Maiev. Reinforcements. If I didn't like the sound of my own voice, I could see how this could get very... Reinforcements from Malfurion and Tyrande quickly arrived. Annoying. Reinforcements from Malfurion and Tyrande quickly... Reinforcements from Malfurion and Tyrande quickly arrived, sending Illidan on the run. So we finally got that out of the way. And I believe we're going to go back in here and bring another Illidan in just to kind of make things work a little bit better. And so now that we've got them all kind of matched up, we're just changing the color of each little group, as I like to call them. This way, I just kind of know a little bit better visually, right offhand, what they're doing. Maiev and her wardens made their way through Suramar as well, and eventually confronted Illidan, but it was too late. Illidan. All right, so that looked all good, and now we're just going to set it all up properly and get all the movement and what kind of brings everything to life. Because if it was just a bunch of cards and they appeared on the screen randomly, it just wouldn't be as awesome as Lore For Noobs actually is. So this is kind of the secret to making cards entertaining. You move them around. This is all done using keyframes. There really are three things that I use more so than anything else. That's opacity, position, and scale. And with those three things, you can create enough movement to kind of bring things to life. I also use the rotation tool quite a bit, but for the most part, it's all position, scale, and opacity. And one of the hardest things, at least in my opinion, is trying to keep them all on track and at the same sort of speed, or not speed, but height and placement within the composition. Maiev and her wardens made their way through Suramar as well, and eventually confronted Illidan, but it was too late. Illidan used the eye to bring the tomb down on Maiev and her wardens, killing all of them except for Maiev. Reinforcements from So, now a lot of people are going to be like, well, if you just hold down shift, yeah, I do that, but sometimes I forget, and then it's a pain in the ass to get it all back into the way it should be. All of them except for Maiev. Reinforcements from L4N and Tyrande quickly arrive, sending Illidan on the run. Alright, so now for this last part, since there's not a whole lot of room, this is one of the times that we'll just kind of throw them up on the screen in proper placement. That shouldn't be 12. Yeah, there you go. That should be 125. And so we're just gonna throw them up on the screen as they should have been in the end anyway, without adding all the movement, just due to the fact that we don't have a whole lot of time. All of them except for Maiev. Reinforcements from L4N and Tyrande quickly arrive, sending Illidan on the run. All of them except for Maiev. See, we did that just because like I said, we didn't have a whole lot of time, and we wanted to give you as much time as possible to read the cards. If now was the time that you were reading the cards and whatnot. That way we weren't straining your eyes too much. And you'll notice that I ran over kind of scrubbing through the episode, and there's nothing at 3 and 4 because we haven't made them yet, but that's how long they would be, and that's how we would get it all set up and ready to go. Of course, 3-1 and 3-2 are already completed, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look and see how it all looks on the big screen. Their way through Suramar as well, and eventually confronted Illidan, but it was too late. Illidan used the eye to bring the tomb down on Maiev and her wardens, killing all of them except for Maiev. Reinforcements from L4N and Tyrande quickly arrive, sending Illidan on the run. Their way through So that's kind of how it looks, on the big screen, as I call it. Alright guys, thanks again for watching and taking this tour with me of behind the scenes of Lore For Noobs Series 1. Don't forget, Series 2 will be premiering soon, sometime within the first quarter of this year. It's 2011, by the way, for all you future watchers and viewers. We'll see this 2 years from now when it's like 2013 and all the idiots that thought the world was going to end in 2012 are moping around. But definitely check out Series 2 if you are one of those future lores. I can't do this stuff. Thanks, guys.